Matt Lenihan Boxing Social, in association with Empire Fight Store and Our Kings. First off, I've got to thank you. I take up a lot of your time most of these weeks, so you are I know, but I really appreciate it. So I just want to get that off because you get pestered all the time, every fight week. Look, we've just seen the open workouts. Let's start with this. Conor, Benn look fast, look sharp, full of energy. Chris sort of going through the motions a little bit. Do you take anything from these, or is this just for them? It's a little bit of a tick box.
I take nothing away from it at all, because both fighters have done as much as they possibly can. Fitness is not going to be the issue in this fight. Fitness is going to be the last thing. It's about tactics. I spoke to Jonathan Banks. He said the same. It's about what's in there with the fighters. Who wants it the most? And that's what Banks is saying. That's what Banks is saying. Yes, man. That's what Banks is saying. So he understands that.
Jonathan Banks is a trainer, obviously. He's hung around some of the elite when you look at it. What was that conversation like with him, and what's his sort of demeanour coming into this? It's a big moment for him as well.
I got a lot of time for Jonathan. He's old school. He understands what is needed for fighters. Talk fighting, breathe fighting, understand fighting inside out, and he understands what is needed here. And he said to Chris, 50% is physical, 50% is mental. You've got to want it enough because there's too much at stake here. And the situation with Chris and his father, he's kind of old school like me. He said, you know what, that's your personal business between you and your dad. You know, this is business now. Let's keep this out of the way.
He's who controls the emotions going into this, because there's such a lot going on for both, I feel. Obviously, Nigel's plays an active part in Conor's, but
Nigel doesn't, actually.
But is he not? But I'm saying he's around him all the time. They're like best friends, aren't they?
What Nigel's doing is Nigel has got a ringside seat to seeing his son perform. Well, and he's happy to sit by the wayside and watch his son carry on. Remember when Nigel first started, when Conor first started? Yes. Nigel had nothing to do with it. He said, if you want to, remember these guys used to spar. The mother used to separate him, and he'd give his son a shellacking until his son started shellacking him. And so he it's the school of hard knocks. He wanted his son to want it more than anybody else wanted it. That's why he said, you go on, do your thing. And what Nigel said to Chris was, you know, you've got to let your son do the fight. Let him want it. So the roles have changed now. So when you see Nigel stuck by his son, he's there as a fan, an appreciative fan to say, you know what, look at this. I love this. And so to me, that's important. That's what you see. Whereas Chris, I think Chris would struggle to stay hands off, to stay away. He struggled to stay hands away, and that's why I think he and his son are clashing.
Do you think Eubank Jr. did the right thing all them years ago? Because he said, look, I need to find my own feet at some point. I need to stand out for myself. Was it the right thing to do for him because he can find it?
Boxing is the only game you can legally get killed. And Chris Senior, I remember Chris Senior when he was fighting, when he went through his career, people said, what's he doing? Why is he doing that? What's he talking about? You know, man's doing it wrong. So Chris did it his way to get the results he wanted. So now his Junior's got to do exactly the same. Junior's got to do exactly the same, and his dad's got to let him go. And again, what you saw was a father telling his son off, but he was just public. But Senior's got to understand, I've got to let my boy go.
Who are you leaning towards?
Ask me on Friday. You ask me on Friday and I will stick to it.
Is this the scales talking now?
It's the scales talking. Ask me on Friday. I want to see, you know, it'll get down to the weight, but I want to see what he looks like, how it affects him conditionally. So ask me on Friday and I'll stick to my decision.
You spoke to Hearn this week? You sorted this thing out, victim?
Right. Give me a wing, let my tyres down. That's how he rolls.
But you not spoke to him, no?
No, I haven't. But Eddie's all right, man. He's all right. You keep doing your job. You keep asking the questions and question the answers.
I asked.
Yeah, keep it up. And now all the promoters are going to be panicking because if a show falls through, they're like, shit. Spotlight's on me, so keep doing your job.
Appreciate it. Johnny, we'll catch up soon.
Before you go, we'll just say this, yeah? We'll just say this. I saw what Eddie Hearn said about Johnny Nelson.
You commented.
Yes, on your right. Now I'm telling you this now. Johnny Nelson was world champion for 7.5 years. Johnny Nelson didn't do not a damn thing inside as an amateur. Johnny Nelson lost his first few fights as a professional fighter, spun that all around, right, and became world champion, became British champion, right? And it was like people.
Damn!
You didn't forget about anything.
No. But check this one out here. At the time when he beat Andy Shawn to become British champion, yeah, the night when Nigel Benn and
Michael
Michael Watson fought in Finsbury in the tent in 1989.
Good memory, man.
I've got a mad memory,
Good.
right? So how can we disrespect what Johnny Nelson? When you're talking about, well, sometimes you've got a victim mentality. Victim what? Johnny Nelson's won. Trust me. You want to go know about role model? Go look it up in the dictionary, yeah, of the dictionary of Eubonics, right? You understand what Eubonics
When
means,
he
right?
uses these big words that messes me up.
Right.
You
I
tell
know
him.
what you're saying.
Okay then. When you look in the dictionary of Eubonics, you open up the page, you're going to see someone like Johnny Nelson. And the next thing, while I'm here, I'm just going to be defending Johnny Nelson. Like, I would say disrespectful things to Johnny Nelson because Johnny Nelson knows me from a little baby. I'm saying disrespectful because I'm that cheeky little brat, right? But let's call it as it is. Eddie Hearn's not meant to be using his platform like that because what Chris Eubank Jr. has done was a very noble thing, right? And turn around saying, so when Johnny's saying, yeah, that's a noble thing because no one else ain't done it. Now, the thing about it is this, maybe it did kind of wobble Eddie Hearn a little piece. But Eddie Hearn's meant to humble himself. You know what? Forget about, it was a publicity stunt by Eubank. It don't matter if it was or it wasn't, he done it. And because he done it, and he done it on a public platform, it's going to inspire other people to do good things. That's the bottom line. Because, as Howard Wilson said, and I want you to realise this, yeah? Howard Wilson said, our former Prime Minister of our country, right? In 1976, the same year that Sugar Ray Leonard won the gold medal in the Olympics, right?
Scary, isn't it?
Listen to this. Howard Wilson said, he who rejects change is the architect of decay. The only human institution that rejects progress is the cemetery, right? So we progress. We progress. Never ever in your whole life, Eddie Hearn, turn around and say that he's got a victim mentality. Because Johnny Nelson is anything but. And lastly, may I say, you've done an excellent piece of work on the weekend for the Ben Whittaker fight. And I'm so happy that you stuck up for Ben Whittaker. Simply because we understand Ben Whittaker is still a young man. He's still a child, right?
27.
He's a young man, he's a child. You know what I mean? That's a
58, Red.
brother.
He can't be a child. Though.
How can you turn around? To us, I'm a big man. I'm old enough to be his father. And you say he's 27. I've got pubic hair older than that. He's a child. Know this part here, right? When they tell her, and Dave Cool was our guy. More so Johnny's guy because they're both Sheffield, man, right? When he said, he didn't spit at anybody, right? So, right, but did you see the tirade of racial abuse that this man received?
I saw you upload it. Yeah,
Right?
of course I did. Yeah.
Right. Now,
Disgusting. Either way,
right,
disgusting.
it's disgusting. Yeah, because you're a decent one, man, right? It was disgusting. And what I'm trying to say is this, yeah? Put some respect on Johnny Nelson's name, period. Peace, 2 fingers, I'm out, later.
Well, you've got your own hype man there. That was done really well.
And lastly, Conor Benn and Chris Jr., should be giving both their fathers 85% of the money. Because if it wasn't for them, this fight would nowhere near be as big as what it is. I'm telling you this now. Nowhere near they should be giving. Now, the thing about it is this, I know for a fact that Conor Benn willingly would give his father 85%, if not 100% of the money. I hope there is some reconciliation between the two Eubanks. But Eubank Sr. is absolutely right in the things that he's saying.